Welcome, Patriots. I'm Gary Franchi, and I'm coming to you live from just outside the Chicago area. You're watching the Raw feed. We're streaming live to millions worldwide on YouTube, Rumble, and X, and this is Week 18 coming to an end of Donald Trump's historic return to the White House, and folks, the gloves are completely off. So what does set us apart from every other show out there? Well, we're not talking at you, we're talking with you. Your reactions in the live chat are part of the broadcast, so fire up those keyboards and let us know what you think as we expose the establishment, everything they don't want you to hear. And before we dive in, I need you to do something crucial. Share the stream right now via text message to bypass big tech's algorithm. Our ex-viewers, post this show to your followers. They're trying to silence us, but they can't stop person-to-person communication. We're reading our super chats and Rumble rants between segments, featuring them on the screen for the world to see. Send them in right now, even before we begin, because your voice matters and we want to hear it. Speaking of making your voice heard, if you want to support independent journalism that actually tells the truth, hit those donation links in the description. Every dollar helps us fight the information war. Today is May 30th, and on this date in 1806, Andrew Jackson killed Charles Dickinson in a duel after Dickinson accused Jackson of cheating on a horse race bet and insulted his wife. Jackson took a bullet to the chest, but stayed standing, aimed carefully, and fired the fatal shot. He carried that bullet in his chest for the rest of his life, 39 years. So why does this matter today? Because just like Old Hickory, Donald Trump has taken shot after shot from the establishment. Yeah, even literal shots. 79 judicial injunctions and counting, but he's still standing, still fighting, and still winning. The difference? Trump's not dueling with pistols at dawn. He's battling an entire system weaponized against the American people, armed only with the Constitution, the truth, and 80 million patriots who refuse to back down. So do you want to know, do you want to show the world where you get your real news? Check out our shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. The link is in the description, where you support proudly and help fund real journalism. So today we're exposing 4 explosive stories that prove the deep state isn't just real, it is panicking. We've got Trump's trade war victory that has China running scared. Elon Musk's shocking exit from D.C. after exposing $160 billion in waste. Activist judges trying to overrun the will of 80 million Americans. And the Biden Autopen Scandal that is about to blow the lid off the biggest constitutional crisis in modern history. And for those who want to be part of the inner circle, you can join our YouTube channel memberships. Each level comes with its own perks, special acknowledgement in the chat, exclusive access to the Next News team, behind-the-scenes uploads, and our members-only 24/7 Discord chat. Become part of the resistance. Now, my friends, these are not just news stories. This is documented evidence of a system at war with itself. On one side, you've got President Trump delivering on every promise, slashing the trade deficit in half, sending personal incomes soaring, and exposing corruption at levels that boggle the mind. On the other side, you've got unelected judges, deep state operatives, and a media machine that spent 4 years covering up for the fact that our previous president was literally governed by a robot's signature. So we're about to show you footage they don't want you to see, reveal numbers that will shock even the most cynical among you, and connect the dots that paint a picture of an establishment in complete meltdown. This is your home for unfiltered truth. This is where we fight back with facts. This is the Raw feed, and it starts now. Let's welcome you to the show. Elaine Miller, Tony, Ann Brass, Tomby420, Pothead Kenny in the house, Sabrina, Frank Meadows in Ohio, In the Mind of Charles is here. We got Cindy in the house. Who else is in the house tonight? We got Michael Verastro in Pennsylvania. We got, know it. Yes, Pothead Kenny, we see you. We hear you. We love you. John Gardner, what's up, man? We've been waiting for you. Great to have you here. Who else is in the house? Make sure you sound off in the chat room with your city, your state, your location, your country, whatever you're comfortable in, disclosing, as well as the type of device that you are watching on. Okay, while you guys are loading up the chat, I'm going to open up a special package I got today. Yay! I've been waiting for this. You know, I love my watches, right? I love my watches, and I got this. You guys have probably seen the advertisements. You've heard the advertisements. I'm Donald Trump, and I've got the greatest watches ever. Everyone loves my watches. They're the best watches in the world. But there's only so many I can make because people want them so much that I have to only make so many. Because I'm Donald Trump, and I make the best. Only the best. Right? So Trump watches, and I decided that I would spring for one myself, and now you guys get to see it. as I receive it. I don't want to cut myself open here because this is a super sharp knife. I got it in I think I got it in Tennessee. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, opening it up. This is now we're doing unboxing videos on the Next News Network. Okay, here it is. Oh, you can hear it. You hear that? Oh, that's all designed to tantillate you when you open a new package. Okay, here it is. All right. Oh, hear that. Hear the. Oh, that's something new. Oh, even another bag. All right, here it is. It says Trump watches. Can you see that? Trump watches right there. Ooh, it's even in gold. All right, we're going to open it up. Oh, look at this packaging. Look at this. Nice. Like a leather. Oh, and it's got like a little package. Okay, so we got a little insert. And it's got Donald Trump's signature on it. Trump watches. Fight, fight, fight collection. President Donald J. Trump instruction manual. How to set the time. How to destroy the deep state. How to get rich like Nancy Pelosi. It's got all the instructions here. Okay. And then it even comes with a little card. What is this? 1 year international warranty. He doesn't mess around. And it's international. That means worldwide. Trump watches guarantees that within 1 year from the date of purchase, we will repair the United States of America, all enemies, foreign and domestic, so help me God. No, that's not what it says, but it should. Okay, let's see. All right, you want to see it? Look at it. It's got like a little button here. Ooh. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's go. Can you guys see this? Holy cow, look at that. Look at that. Trump watch. Gold Trump watch. Limited edition. Oh, yeah. Don't eat the silica. Ever. And then it's got an like you have, for fat people, you can insert the wrist extender. All right, I'm going to open up this bad boy here. Oh, wow. It's got some nice weight to it. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. Let's see. Not as big a face as the watch I'm wearing now. I like watches that have a really big face on it. I don't know if you can see the difference here. But, yeah, I'll try and show you. But there it is. It's beautiful. It's black, gold, and it's got... So gently shake the watch on wrist to start movement. And on the back side, it's really difficult. I can't really show this to you guys. But it has an etching of Donald Trump. Let's see if I can pull off this plastic here. What is this? Every one of these watches has a unique etching. And these watches are numbered because they only made so many. So I got this one on pre-order. Oh, wow. It's got like a double. Holy cow. Double. Oh. Okay. Yeah, look at the... Oh, my goodness. So this is DT0094. So do I have the 94th watch? 200 meters, automatic, and it has an etching. It says Victory 4547 and has the etching of him doing the fist after he got shot in Butler. How freaking cool is that? I'm going to put that right back over the top. That is a beautiful watch. Thank you, Donald Trump, for sending this to your friend, Gary Franchi, even though I had to pay for it. And I'm happy to pay for it. This would actually be my second Trump watch that I own. I wanted to get... I have one that's like this, that's gold and silver. And I said, well, maybe I should get the gold one too. So I bought that one. All right. So our unboxing video is over. And you guys got to see it just like I did. We're going to put it back in its packaging for now, because we have news that needs to be presented to the American people. And we will, let's see, who's on the house? Who's in the house? Let's see who else is here. We got Leanne. Where do they sell the Trump watch? It's literally like Trump Watch or TrumpWatches.com. Yeah, let's see. Maybe I can actually show you if I could pull it up here. Trump watches. Trump watches. I think it's here. Get Trump watches. Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can bring up this. I'm not sure if this is going to work, Brian, but we'll try. Is that going to work for us? I try to hit the. Okay, I'm hitting. Okay, now maybe it'll work. I'm pressing the stream deck button. Oh well, okay, sure, we can do that. I know, but I thought that I could still do it on the stream deck. Well, I need to show the full vertical, double vertical, because you can't see the site properly. Do I not have that shot? There it is. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is President Trump's Red Beauty that they just released. New arrivals. So this is the other one I have. This is the Fight 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 Silver edition. A First Lady watch they've just released. Let's see. Aren't these beautiful? Wow, women's watches. So here's the men's watches. Beautiful watches. Unlike all these watches. This is the one I wanted to get. The blue and the gold. I thought that was beautiful, but it's sold out. I thought I clicked on men's watches. Where are the men's watches? Men's watches. Men's. Okay. Men's. Okay, so is this mine? Boss Blue? No, that's not it. Where's the one I just got? Trump Force Gray? No, that's not it. Victory Steel. Presidential Fighter. That's the one I just got. Sold out. And $799. That's how much it costs. Limited edition 555 watch, bold, gold, and tough, just like President Trump. Plated in 18-karat gold, features his signature on the dial. Statement piece says Power Watch. And limited availability. How many were made? Limited edition. I guess it doesn't say. I think that is the watch. Yeah, that's the one I got. I thought it did say how many were of that edition. Maybe not. Limited availability. Act now before it's too late. So, yeah. Cool, huh? Beautiful. All right, so that's, figured I'd just share that with you. You guys can see it. Oh, what are you doing, Brian? Brian's making some kind of shot there. Oh, you're showing the chat room? Oh, okay. Looks like I'm a little too far on the left there. I'm cut off. Maybe you can fix that? That chat room and then whatever you're doing. Okay. But we do have to get to the news. I know people are waiting, so they don't want to hear about all this. Maybe they do. Well, either way, we do have a trivia question for you, Brian. So will the trivia question button work? Okay, here we go. Trivia. All right. Which U.S. president was the first to use executive orders to impose sweeping economic sanctions on foreign nations, setting the precedent that Trump now uses for his trade policies? Was it Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, C. Woodrow Wilson, or D. Harry Truman? You could drop your answer in the chat room or in the poll or in the comments below. Don't skip ahead because we're going to reveal the answer at the end of this segment. Okay, so we're going to go back to our shot here. I'm just trying to figure this out. All right, clean. I'm going clean, but I'm clean on clean, clean and then clean. And now I'm back. Okay. All right. And then, yeah. They said he couldn't do it. They said the courts would stop him cold. They said that China would never bend. But something just happened in Washington that has the establishment running for cover and Wall Street scrambling to rewrite their playbooks. The numbers are in, and they're not just good, they're historic. And what you're about to see is going to change everything you thought you knew about who really controls America's economic destiny. And the deep state just got caught with their pants down. And the man that they tried to destroy is holding all the cards. So keep on watching. Now, here's the hard truth. Every 6 years, your dollar loses half its buying power. That means $100,000 savings today could feel like $50,000 by 2031. You see it when you fill up, buy groceries, or pay bills. Prices up, dollars down. But there's a simple way to protect your savings with something real, something proven. That's gold, an asset that holds value over time. And that's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. They make it simple. No high-pressure sales, no call centers in India, just honest guidance, one-on-one support, transparent pricing. So head to nextnewsgold.com today. The link is down below. Or call 877-646-5347 and tell them Gary Franchi sent you. Ask for Colin. Now, the China trade bombshell just dropped, and President Trump isn't playing games anymore. After giving Beijing a chance to play fair, they stabbed America in the back again. But this time, Trump's ready with all he calls Plan A. And he's about to reshape global trade forever. The Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, just revealed the truth the mainstream media won't tell you. When the activist judges tried to block Trump's Liberation Day tariffs, they thought they'd won. But watch what happened when Fox tried to corner him on the administration's next move. Take a look.
The president's spoken about the national emergency that's led us to these giant trade deficits, right? I mean, he spoke about it on the campaign trail, and he wanted to use the sweeping powers of IEEPA. Now, he has many, many other laws and authorities that he can use, and he'll take them out if he needs to. But right now, he likes the sweeping authority because it lets him deal with everybody who treats us unfairly, who doesn't treat us reciprocally. He can use IEEPA to do the whole world and sort of set America up correctly and protect America from the national emergency. But as you know, we're going to go through the courts, and you should always bet on Donald Trump, because what we've all seen is he does not lose.
No, he doesn't lose. That's right. Bet on Donald Trump. And he's got multiple authorities ready to deploy. Now, the establishment's meltdown reached new heights when Fox's rapid response team caught up with CNBC's Rick Santelli in a moment of pure honesty. The trade deficit numbers just came in, and even Trump's biggest critics can't hide their shock at what's happening to our economy. Watch.
The last number is, of course, a very important number to this administration. This is the trade balance, which is a deficit, expecting minus $143 billion. Wow, it comes in much, much smaller, minus $87 billion. And now this follows a 163 that gets converted to $162 billion with a minus sign, the worst since record-keeping 1989. Then we cut it in half to 87.6. 87.6 would be the lightest, and I have to really go back. 87.6 would be the lightest since... wow, September of 23, SEP of 23. And this really does underscore how the movement of goods and services has really changed due to a variety of tariff-related issues.
So cut in half from $163 billion to $87 billion in a single month. That's the biggest narrowing of the trade deficit since records began in 1989. But here's where it gets really interesting. Stephen Miller went on enemy territory, CNN, and absolutely destroyed their narrative about Harvard's Chinese visa scandal. Watch him expose how our immigration system has been weaponized against American interests. Take a look.
China has been engaging in the theft of American trade secrets, industrial espionage, and the wholesale destruction of our intellectual property, our trademarks, our copyrights for years, Laura. They steal our nation's secrets, they steal our nation's industry, and of course they engage in predatory economic practices designed to cripple our industries and bring American manufacturing to a halt. This has been going on for decades, in earnest, of course, since China entered the World Trade Organization. So President Trump has taken firm and decisive action to say that we are not going to allow our immigration system to be used as an instrument of exploiting America's wealth, America's secrets, or America's industrial might.
No, my bad. That was actually Fox, not CNN. So someone's going to get fired after the show. Industrial espionage, trade secret theft, and the wholesale destruction of American intellectual property, all while Harvard defies DHS subpoenas. Now, the real story emerged when Trump himself revealed the betrayal in classic Trump fashion. After showing mercy to China when their economy was collapsing from his initial tariffs, they repaid his kindness with deception. President Trump took to Truth Social with a message that sent shockwaves through Beijing. Here's the message that was sent. And you can see it on the screen right here. The message to Beijing. The leaders. No, this must be something else. My bad. Well, is there a clip now? Okay, go to the clip.
And what about China, specifically China, and that obviously started in a different place? How can you characterize those talks now?
I would say that they are a bit stalled. I believe that we will be having more talks with them in the next few weeks, and I believe we may at some point have a call between the president and party chair Xi.
So stalled. There was a time when the president thought that it was moving forward pretty significantly.
Again, I think that given the magnitude of the talks, given the complexity, that this is going to require both leaders to weigh in with each other. They have a very good relationship, and I am confident that the Chinese will come to the table when President Trump makes his preferences known.
So much for being Mr. Nice Guy. When Trump says the gloves are off, smart money pays attention. And Peter Navarro delivered the knockout punch to fake news reporters trying to spin this as Trump backing down. His response to their taco narrative, Trump always chickens out, was pure fire. Now watch him school this biased reporter on what real negotiation looks like. Watch.
And just given this appeals court temporarily reinstating the tariffs, what does that mean for you and your position? And does it buy the administration more time, in your view?
Me and my, you're not talking about me personally. You're talking about the administration.
The administration, of course.
Yeah. So, look, the tariffs remain in place. The court told us, they didn't all but tell us, they told us, go do it another way. So you can assume that even if we lose, we will do it another way. And I can assure the American people that the Trump tariff agenda is alive, well, healthy, and will be implemented to protect you, to save your jobs and your factories, and to stop shipping foreign wealth, our wealth, into foreign hands.
So you are working on a plan B?
Of course. There's no plan B. It's plan A. Okay? Plan A encompasses all strategic options, and when we move forward, we had a full view of what the battlefield looks like. We are not naive about rogue justices in the judiciary and Democrats filing lawsuits. This has got to stop, by the way. This weaponization of the judiciary to stop President Trump from doing what he promised the American people, this has got to stop. It's the people of America have the lowest level of confidence in the American judiciary they've had in 100 years. And it's getting close to what they think about Congress. And that's a low bar to hit.
How much of that is because every time you get a court decision you don't like, you and your colleagues come out here and rail against rogue judges?
Who is this guy? Tell me who you are, sir.
I'm Andrew Feinberg. I work for The Independent.
Okay, so that is such a biased question. That is not a journalist question. That was like an op-ed, sir. So I don't even respond to that. Who else has got an...
So that's what happens when you come with the Trump trade team with DNC talking points instead of real journalism. Yes, that was Caitlin Collins from CNN. You heard her voice. Now, the numbers tell the real story. Personal income's up 0.8% in April, almost triple expectations. That's the strongest month-over-month jump since May of 21. 4 consecutive months of stellar income growth while the establishment claimed Trump's policies would destroy the economy. Watch.
Personal income is up 0.8% up 0.8%. That is almost triple the expectations, and it underscores we could talk about a lot of issues, but when you look at income for the first 4 months of the year, they're powerful numbers, Joe. Up 0.6 in January, up 0.7 in February, up 0.5% last month, up 0.8 this month. This is a great 4-month start to any year. Now, with the income shooting up, and by the way, 0.8 is the strongest income month-over-month jump since May of 21, when it was 1.9.
This is what winning looks like. American families getting real raises, not inflation-adjusted crumbs. Texas Representative Brandon Gill, he laid out the constitutional reality with Caitlin Collins on CNN. Congress could codify these tariffs tomorrow, but they won't. Why? Because the swamp profits from America's decline. They want to keep you suffering, so you keep going back to them for answers. But Trump is not waiting for their permission. Watch.
Responsibility. Is it regulating trade in the Constitution that it is Congress's responsibility, not the president's?
Congress has oversight over this. This is part of the president's authority. This was a national emergency that the president has talked about at length, that he talked about on the campaign trail, that he's talked about since then. He has the powers to implement these tariffs under his national authority, national emergency authority, and that's exactly what he did.
But Congress could also just implement them, right?
Certainly Congress could, and perhaps there's a role for it. But in this case, President Trump implemented this. These were lawful tariffs. We have been working on the one big beautiful bill. We've got things that we have been focused on. He's been focused here. We'll see what the Supreme Court says here. I think the Supreme Court is going to side with the president.
But you'll wait for the Supreme Court to step in before you could take something that really, theoretically, you could do tomorrow as a member of Congress.
Good point.
Well, we are working on getting this one big beautiful bill signed into law. We're going to do it by July 4th. That's the deadline that the president would like to see. That's the deadline we have set in Congress. So we have got our work cut out for us as well. One other thing that we're going to be working on now that we got this out of the House is codifying the DOGE cuts and making those permanent, taking all of the work that Elon Musk and the president's team has done in identifying waste, fraud, and abuse. Billions of dollars. Waste, fraud, and abuse that we on the DOGE subcommittee have highlighted time and time again that the American people are ready to see permanently gotten rid of. That's what we're focused on right now.
Let's go, baby. The one big beautiful bill is coming by July 4th, Independence Day, with or without establishment support. Now, the media wants you to believe that Trump's trade war is failing. The reality? We're witnessing the greatest economic turnaround in American history. China has violated their agreement, thinking that Trump would go soft. They just made the biggest miscalculation of the century. Energy Secretary Wright connected all the dots. Lower energy prices, reindustrialized America, jobs returning home, and peace through strength. This is the Trump doctrine in action. Watch.
President Trump got elected to lower energy prices, reindustrialize America, bring jobs and opportunity back to our country, and peace abroad. And he is pursuing that agenda aggressively. And energy plays a big part in that. You know, last 4 years, we saw over a 25% rise in electricity prices, but no increase in the production of electricity. Now we have the AI race in full steam that we cannot lose. We must stay ahead of China. And what does it take to win in AI? A lot more American energy. So we're going to grow American energy production of all forms across the country, keep electricity prices in check, stay ahead, and win the AI race.
Let's go, baby. The last 4 years saw electricity prices rise 25% with zero increase in production. Trump is changing that equation. But perhaps the most damning revelation came from an unexpected source. Yes, CNN actually reported the truth about the Biden crime family's foreign money trail. Watch as they admit Trump was right all along about Hunter's Chinese fortune. Too little, too late. Watch.
Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China, and Joe Biden was wrong. $4 million in income in 2017 and 2.2 million in income in 2018, most of which came from Chinese or Ukrainian interests. But this directly goes against what Joe Biden said in the debate in 2020 with Donald Trump. Take a listen.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about, China.
Once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
So it's from two different debates, but I mean, Trump was right. I mean, he did make a fortune from China, and Joe Biden was wrong.
Billions to Ukraine while the Bidens got rich. The corruption was deeper than anyone imagined. The bottom line, Trump is not just winning the trade war, he's revolutionizing how America does business with the world. No more one-sided deals, no more wealth transfers to nations that hate us, no more American workers getting sold out for globalist profits. So if you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thought. Now this changes everything, Patriots. Trump just proved that one man with backbone can take on the entire globalist system and win. While establishment Republicans cower and Democrats scream, he's delivering exactly what he promised. Fair trade, American jobs, and respect on the world stage. The numbers don't lie. Deficit cut in half, income soaring, China's panicking. This is what America first looks like in action. But here is what should terrify the swamp. Trump is just getting started. He's got multiple authorities to impose tariffs, the Supreme Court on deck, and 80 million Americans who've had enough of watching our wealth get shipped overseas. So here's the question. Will GOP congressmen finally grow a spine and codify these wins? Or will they keep serving their corporate masters while America bleeds? That's my question for you. Yes or no in the comments. Another one, too. Should any Republican who refuses to vote for Trump's tariff agenda be primaried in 2026? Now you've got some options. So don't forget to check out our merch shop, link below. Show the world that you stand with America first. Okay, going back to our question. What is the answer? What did you guys say? You said Franklin Roosevelt at 34%. Who was it? Well, the answer was C, Woodrow Wilson. He pioneered sweeping executive economic sanctions during World War I, creating the precedent that Trump now uses masterfully. Thank you, Woodrow Wilson. At least he did something right. Okay, now we have another trivia question before we go to our second topic of the evening. Here it is. During the 1960s space race, which government agency tried to shut down the private aerospace industry, claiming only government should explore space, similar to today's attacks on SpaceX? Was it A, the Federal Aviation Administration? Was it B, NASA? C, the Civil Aeronautics Board? Or D, the Interstate Commerce Commission? I want to see what you guys come up with. The poll will be active in the chat room in just a moment. You can vote there, or you can simply answer now in the chat room or in the comments below. Remember, don't skip ahead. Don't cheat. Don't Google it. All right? Just stick around. I'm going to tell you the answer after this segment. He came to Washington as a hero. He promised to slash $2 trillion in waste. He worked for free, sacrificing billions while they called him a Nazi and bombed his cars. Now, after exposing corruption that would make your head spin, the world's richest man is walking away from the swamp. But this is not a retreat. It's something far more dangerous for the establishment. What Elon Musk discovered in those servers, in those spreadsheets, in those dark corners of government waste, has them lawyering up and plotting revenge. The man who conquered space and revolutionized transportation just sent a 3-word message that should terrify every swamp creature in D.C. So keep watching. We're going to break it all down. And just like Elon Musk exposed the government's aging and broken systems, we need to address our body's aging process. By 40, collagen production drops significantly. Wrinkles appear, skin sags, joints ache. But here's the solution. Ageless multi-collagen. 5 key collagen types from 4 premium sources, hydrolyzed for easy absorption, no clumping, no odor, just smooth blending into your morning routine. Clean ingredients, no GMOs, no artificial junk, no hormones, just pure collagen support. Plus, every order helps feed hungry children. So get 51% off, free shipping, and a free bonus skin guide at healthwithgary.com. Your confidence will thank you. Now, after 130 days that shook Washington to its core, Elon Musk is leaving Washington, D.C., but not before dropping truth bombs that will echo for generations. The man who revolutionized space travel and made electric cars cool just completed the most successful government reform mission in American history. And President Trump delivered the news in the Oval Office, and what he revealed about Elon's service will restore your faith in what's possible when patriots put country first. Watch this incredible moment as Trump honors the man who sacrificed everything to save our republic. Watch.
But Elon's service to America has been without comparison in modern history. He's already running one of the most innovative car companies in the world. You look at his factories and compare them with some of the old factories we have, and it's a big difference. And the most successful space company, and I guess in history you would have to say the largest free speech platform on the internet, etc. Yet Elon willingly, with all of the success, he willingly accepted the outrageous abuse and slander and lies and attacks because he does love our country. I know that very much. He loves our country. He comes from another country, a country that's going through trials and tribulations, I would say. But he's all about the USA, and Americans owe him a great debt of gratitude. So I just want to thank Elon for his time as a special government employee. Can you imagine? They call him an employee, but it's a special government employee, and for coming and helping us. And he really has changed the mindset of a lot of people. A lot of people thought, maybe we'll cut 1% or 2% or 3%. Then they said, wow, we can cut a lot more than that. And we're going to do it very surgically. We're going to continue on the march. We're making America great again.
We're going to continue on the march. Did you see Elon's shirt underneath his blazer? The Doge Father. But did you catch his face, his eye? Looks like he had a little shiner there. I wonder what was going on. I don't know. We got to dig deeper. Yeah. Anyway, service without comparison in modern history. And Trump said, we're just getting started. But first, let's see what Elon actually accomplished. Trump laid out just a fraction of the insane waste that DOGE uncovered in our federal budget. So prepare yourself, because these numbers might just raise your blood pressure. Watch. $8 million to make mice transgender. Let that sink in while American veterans sleep under bridges. The emotional moment came when President Trump presented Elon with something reserved for only the most special people, a gold White House key. Now, this wasn't just a gift. It was a symbol of what one patriot can accomplish. Watch.
A little special something we have here.
Thank you.
A very special that I give to very special people. I have given it to some, but it goes to very special people, and I thought I'd give it to Elon as a presentation from our country.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elon.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. This is a lot. The luck of this is amazing.
Large luck.
That was beautiful. And someday, maybe I'll get a key for fixing the news cycle, right? All right, we're going to keep moving right along here, because that's what respect looks like between two titans who actually care about America's future. And Jesse Waters, he absolutely destroyed the Democrats for driving Elon away. His monologue on The Five exposed the stupidity of attacking the one man trying to fix our broken system. Watch him lay out the brutal truth about what Democrats just did to themselves. Watch.
It was just not the right way. The process was wrong, but they were 100% behind it, guys. What say you, Jesse?
Jessica's laughing that he's gone, but it's like laughing at a funeral. The Democrats' funeral. Your party's dead, Jessica.
What?
And you basically pushed the world's wealthiest man into our arms. And
now he's running from you. He went on one date.
Wait, no, this is the day that he was supposed to leave.
Yeah, he's supposed to leave tomorrow, 180 days. How do I know that and you don't,
It's 130.
Listen, you now made Elon Musk the Republican Party's biggest donor. Thank you. Thank you very much. You think he's just going to stop giving?
He said I'm stopping giving.
Okay, I've heard that before. They're going to give. You think he's not giving advance? After what you did to him, you think he's just going to bury the hatchet? After you called him a Nazi? After you bombed his cars, you think the next election he's going to be like, all right, you know what? Let the Democrats get back in there. Because what do you think the Democrats are going to do when they get back in? They're going to go all in and try to put the man in prison. They're going to try to bankrupt his companies and investigate the hell out of him. You think he's not going to give anymore? You are I'm not going to say the word idiot, but you've made a huge mistake and you don't realize how dumb it is. Also, you're saying how much you need men. Young men idolize Elon Musk. They want to be him. They want to be based. They want to ride around in his trucks, and they want to hang with big balls. And now every time you attack Elon Musk, you're attacking all of the young men that you need for your party to survive.
Yeah, and that party is dying. You heard him say it. You just pushed the world's wealthiest man into our arms. And he's never coming back to the Democrat plantation. He went on with his epic takedown, comparing Elon to the titans of American industry while exposing the pathetic Democrats trying to tear him down. This is must-see TV that shows why young men worship Elon and despise the establishment. Here's more.
It's going through really millions of line items and saying just each one of them makes sense, what does not make sense. Obviously, at times when you cut expenses, those who are receiving the money, whether they're receiving that money legitimately or not, they do complain.
You're attacking a living legend. We're talking Rockefeller, Ford, Jobs. Who's against him? Booker? He's a footnote. Liz Warren? What has she ever done? This man's expanding civilization. He's cut spending. He's actually found fraud. You've never found it, Jessica.
And while he was doing that, he rescued astronauts that they then mocked while they praised Katy Perry.
Yeah,
No one praised Katy Perry, to be clear.
He's like, she didn't look great, that shot. He's juggling like heroic acts, and you guys are chirping at him for the silence. You had your chance. You didn't cut spending. You didn't find fraud. You made Kamala Harris the AI czar, Jessica. This is like you're upset because he set a $2 trillion goal and didn't hit it. Okay.
He ended up with $9 billion.
He did more than you did. He did more than anyone has ever
That's
done
not true.
in about 3 decades, Jessica. This is like a fan. Every NFL season.
Just let someone else talk.
No. Every NFL season, every single team tries to win the Super Bowl. That's the goal. They don't all win the Super Bowl. But you're like on the side like, you tried to win the Super Bowl and you didn't win. You're not even playing.
You're not even playing. He's expanding civilization while you're on the sidelines eating chicken. I would probably correct him by saying fake chicken meat. But it's savage, it's true. But here's what really happened. Elon went through millions of line items, finding waste and fraud everywhere. His explanation of the software licenses alone shows why Washington hates him, because he actually did the work. Watch.
It's going through really millions of line items and saying just each one of them makes sense, what does not make sense. Obviously, at times when you cut expenses, those who are receiving the money, whether they're receiving that money legitimately or not, they do complain. And you're not going to hear someone confessing that they received money inappropriately. Never. They're going to always say that they received money appropriately for an important cause. Naturally, that's what you'd expect. So we just have to. It's just a lot of work going through the vast expenses of the federal government and just really asking questions. What's this money for? Are you sure it's actually being used well? Many times we can't even find anyone who defends it. So for a lot of the expenses, there's actually no defender at all. And then we have to just work through the process of stopping the spending, where there's often literally no defender. Nobody even knows why the money's being spent. It's truly absurd. I mean, we find situations where there are millions of software licenses with 0 people using them. 0. Exactly. This is the quizzical expression. You're like, surely, if there's millions of software licenses, someone should be using them. No, and then we've got to go through the process of saying, okay, look, if no one's using the software, we need to terminate this software license agreement. That's everywhere in the government, by the way.
Millions of software licenses with 0 users. This is your tax dollars at work, folks. The president revealed the most stunning statistic of all, what Elon achieved in just 130 days. Watch now as Trump explains how DOGE delivered a colossal change to Washington's corrupt way of doing business. Watch.
Today it's about a man named Elon, and he's one of the greatest business leaders and innovators the world has ever produced. He stepped forward to put his very great talents into the service of our nation, and we appreciate it. And I just want to say that Elon has worked tirelessly helping lead the most sweeping and consequential government reform program in generations. And you know the kinds of things that he's found and his people have found. He's brought a group of very smart people in, and they found things that are pretty unbelievable. I have to say that the numbers that we're talking about are substantial, but they're going to be very much more substantial with time, because many of the things that we're working on right now, we're going to have to remember Elon as we find them, but the numbers could double and triple because many things, we don't want to go out with them until we're sure, but we've found things that are unbelievably stupid and unbelievably bad. With the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon's delivered a colossal change in the old ways of doing business in Washington. DOGE has installed geniuses with an engineering mindset and unbelievably talented people and computers. I actually asked Elon one time, what's their primary thing? And they have a lot of primary things, all having to do with being smart. But he said the thing that they're really the best at is working with computers, so that they can't be outsmarted by somebody that's not so honest, that happens to also be good with computers, but not as good as these people. But the mindset in the senior ranks of every federal department, and it's really changed. And with Elon's guidance, they're helping to detect fraud, slash waste, and modernize broken and outdated systems. So as you know, we're talking about various systems and changing systems. And, you know, sadly, it takes a long time to do that. You'll change, let's say, a system at IRS and computerize it properly where the job can be done in 1/10 the time, but it takes sometimes years to rebuild those systems. But we've started.
With Elon's guidance, they're helping detect fraud, slash waste, and modernize broken system. Mission accomplished. Then came the moment that proved Elon still got fight left in him. When the failing New York Times tried to attack him in the Oval Office, watch now as he absolutely cooked their fake news reporter.
The president mentioned that you had to deal with all the slings and arrows during your time at DOGE. There's this.
Well, some of the people, some of the media organizations in this room were the slingers.
Well, so there is a New York Times report today that accuses you of blurring the line between.
Is the New York Times, is that the same publication that got a Pulitzer Prize for false reporting on the Russiagate? Is it the same organization?
I got to check my Pulitzer counter.
It is.
I think the judge just ruled against the New York Times for their lies about the Russiagate hoax, and that they might have to give back that Pulitzer Prize. That New York Times, let's move on.
Let's move on. That's how you handle the fake news. Peter Doocy bringing up the New York Times, and then Elon Musk knocking them out. Yes, he called out their Pulitzer Prize for lies. And move on, please. Representative Tim Burchett delivered the hard truth about why Elon's work matters. It's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about saving our country from criminals robbing us blind. Watch.
What about DOGE bills? Why haven't we seen any, Congressman? Will we see any?
Because we don't have any guts. We finally brought it to the national media and everybody's attention. You and I have talked about this on ad nauseum. I was able to ask President Trump a question at our conference meeting, we had a couple of weeks ago when he was lobbying us to push the big, beautiful bill. I was allowed to ask the first question. I said, when do you think, can you get Congress off their ass and start codifying some of your cuts that you put out in your executive order? And man, it was classic Donald Trump. He went through that like a dose of salt. He let us have it. And then, of course, I knew it'd be leaked to the press, and it was, as it always is. And it kind of lit the fire, I think. And people are talking about it a lot more now. It is a disgrace that we haven't. And I know what leadership's going to say. they're going to say, Burchett, we don't have the votes for some of these things. Well, you know what? Put it up for a vote. And if they don't have the guts to vote for it, then they need to be out of office. If NPR, if we're giving them 1 red cent, and the people in North Carolina are still struggling after Hurricane Helene, just go down the list of the craziness. $10 million for circumcisions. I guess it's voluntary. But do you honestly believe that money's getting there? Elon Musk made a pretty good case, and I hope the Justice Department follows up on it. I'm not a lawyer. I'm going to talk to some, figure out how to get them on it. But he thought that there was a paper trail going right back to Washington. Now, you know good and well that dark money campaigns are funded through things like this. I have a bill that deals with defunding the Taliban, $40 million a week. The State Department, through their through a memo, a 5-page memo I have, says we've given them close to $5 billion. This is the Taliban, people we fought and Americans died fighting for. They throw homosexuals off buildings. They rape women and children, and then they stone the women. This is the people we're sending. We're sending $40 million a week to, and the reason we're doing it because the NGOs. Do you have any idea how many NGOs are operating out of Afghanistan right now?
I have no idea, but I can only imagine.
Just a little less than 1,000. 1,000 non-government organizations that they're getting our money right now. It's going to the UN and their State Department and other departments. Look, this is the tip of the iceberg. They ought to pin a medal on Elon Musk's on his chest. These lunatics on the left that are defending this crazy expenditures. The reason they are because the money's not going there. It's going to Washington. It's paying Congress members. Listen, I don't care if they're Republican or Democrat. I hope to see them in cuffs. I hope they take them, drag them out of the dadgum Capitol, and I will applaud them. I will go get a selfie with them as they're crying their tears because I'm sick of this stuff. We're stealing from the American public. Every person listening ought to call their congressman and said, I want DOGE cuts on. I want you to start voting on them every dadgum week. Stop with the nonsense. I don't care who it embarrasses. We got to stop this stuff. We will lose our country.
Every daggone week, he said. I hope to see them in cuffs. That's what real accountability looks like. But Democrats aren't done. Representative Subramanyam just revealed their plan for revenge. Subpoenas, criminal referrals, the moment they retake the House. And they're coming for Elon and everyone associated with DOGE. Watch.
Elon Musk's exit. He is leaving Washington. But I think that Elon Musk is just finished. I have not heard a lot of Democratic elected officials talk about the data. Elon Musk and his DOGE peeps, if you will, they installed servers within the White House complex. They were integral within the Office of Presidential Personnel, which has tentacles out into every single agency. They have inroads into every single agency now. DOGE was in there.
And he didn't take those servers with him.
The servers, I don't think, have left the White House. And so what are Democrats going to do about the data? Are you all going to follow up on this? What's your take on Elon Musk's being done? Because I just think he's finished. He's just finished what he was doing. Actually, he's finished. He's not done because they've still got the data.
Yeah, I heard he's on some image repair tour. I think the best way for him to repair his image is to reverse all the damage he did to our government, to the American people. And yeah, those servers are a big issue. We want to continue to investigate that. And certainly, I think some crimes may have been committed over the past 3 or 4 months, and they are going to come to light one way or another. We're going to come to light, even if it takes us getting into power again. But we will subpoena people and find out.
Anna Presley, thanks for that. Some crimes may have been committed. They're already building up their witch hunt. Well, Scott Adams, he captured what really happened here. Congress realized that nobody voted for them. Everyone voted for DOGE. Everyone voted for Elon. And now the swamp is terrified. Watch.
I've been following on X Matt Van Swal, who's doing a great job of talking about the DOGE situation. Here he summarizes it this way. DOGE is literally one of the most popular government initiatives in history. 73% of Americans say they support cutting government waste. Trump brought in the smartest man on earth to do it, and then the left destroyed Elon for it. and the GOP won't vote on it. I can't believe this. And then Elon responded to the post. 3 words. Did my best. Whew. Wow. There's almost nothing I can say about that. You know, you probably heard me early on in the DOGE process, and I was saying, you know, I love everything DOGE is trying to do, but when it gets to Congress, they're just going to spend his savings. But it's even worse than that. They're never going to even codify the savings. Not the Democrats, not the Republicans. They're not even going to vote on it. So all that work, all that sacrifice that Elon Musk did to get that right, Congress is going to shit on it. And I'm almost losing my mind that we can just watch this happen. Now, it's not everybody. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is trying to get it codified, et cetera. But the fact that all that effort, it looks like, you know, some portion of it anyway is going to be thwarted by our own Congress, is such a tragedy. It's almost impossible to understand. It's like we're running as fast as we can toward a cliff, and we even have the smartest people in the world trying to prevent it, and even that doesn't help. What is going on here? What is going on?
Gotta love Scott Adams. Did my best. 3 words that sum up a hero's journey through the heart of darkness. The media is already trying to rewrite history. MSNBC claimed that Elon was chased out by democracy, when the truth is he completed his mission and exposed all of them. But their lies can't hide what we all saw. Watch.
And the Trump administration is far from the first to have frustrations with the courts, federal courts. We know that whether it's Bush or Obama or Biden, it's a bipartisan endeavor. However, this administration, the Trump administration, the first time to sort of vilify the judiciary in this way, to put out names, photographs, accuse them of being part of the deep state, as we talked about yesterday when this news was breaking, you know, suggesting that it was a judicial coup, that this was something, an effort to thwart not just the will of the presidency, but the people, and talking about it in sort of incendiary terms that I know worries quite a few folks.
I think the theme of the last 2 stories that we've been talking about are welcome to democracy. Welcome to our system. It's not a judicial coup. Our system, for as long as these short-memoried people may or may not remember, has been a 3-branch system of government in which other branches have a say. And when you go back to the Elon Musk story, it's the same story. He didn't just leave. He's not just slipping out of Washington. He was chased out of Washington by democracy.
Hold the phone. Chased out of Washington. No, that's not how it happened, dude. All right? Nice trendy jacket, nice haircut. That doesn't change the fact that you're a freaking liar.
By people saying no. By people protesting so much around his cars and dealerships that...
No. My people are protesting your haircut, man.
He lost billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, because you guys sicked your freaking minions on him. Because he was taking away all your freaking money from your pet programs at USAID. Man, MSNBC makes me so sick. No amount of hair gel and trendy jackets is going to make anyone believe a freaking word you say. Because the next news network is here to call your shit out. Flush it.
People raising their voices, by people filing lawsuits.
I'm raising my freaking voice, man. Get over it.
And by the way, Donald Trump was saying, I think he wrote, he will always be with us. That's something the Rev might say in a eulogy.
Oh, you guys want to celebrate this like it's a funeral? Yeah, Elon will always be with us, and that's why you guys are scared shitless. Yeah, he left his fingerprint right there in Washington, D.C. The Doge boys are going to continue to work. And you know what? If Elon wants to pick up the phone and make a call to the Don or any of the boys in the Doge office, you know it's going to happen because the game is just getting started, bitch. Buckle up.
For someone. So he will always be with us. I mean,
Yeah. No one chased him out. His 130-day tenure ended exactly as planned. Mission accomplished. MSNBC, you are fake news. And President Trump summed it up perfectly when CNBC's Rick Santelli praised the economic numbers. Trump brought out the men who made it happen, including Elon's Doge team that found the fraud that nobody else would touch. Watch.
I think what I'll do, if you don't mind, numbers have just come out which are rather extraordinary, and I thought I'd play a tape of one of the people who I've respected over the years, from Joe Kiernan and Rick Santelli. This just came out, and we'll just play that for a second.
Personal income is up 0.8%. That is almost triple the expectations. Yeah, I'll tell you, the income numbers, really, for the first 4 months of the year, they're stellar. They're really stellar. I mean, I could go back and look at the first 4 months of many different years. Really very strong numbers, and you're right. This administration is criticized for just about everything under the sun. I've never, ever in my lifetime had glimpses into the politics of an administration in the form of transparency like this one. Why don't we be, give credit where credit is due. Income really shooting up.
Rick, I also thought everybody was going to get one last order of imports that were going to be tariffed, and they were loading up on things. How the hell they already fix the trade, or not fix it, but to cut it in half? That's crazy. So there wasn't a lot of front loading of things that they needed before the tariffs hit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it really does call into question some of the conventional wisdoms. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next month when we get this number, or we see some of the other numbers like current account, see how they fared. Because I don't know, I've been watching these numbers a long time. I don't think I've ever seen the trade deficit cut in half in 1 month.
Not bad. Not bad.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. I see Howard and Scott are here, so it's...
You see what he just did? That was a freaking boss move. Okay? The White House press pool gathered in the Oval Office. All ushered in for Elon Musk eulogy, right? Oh, Donald Trump's destroying the economy, they screamed, right? And you saw Allison. That was Allison who brought the laptop out. Put it right there on the Resolute frickin' desk for all them to see. Rick Santelli spilling it out all over the frickin' Resolute desk, right in front of the fake news, making them actually see those numbers. Can't deny it. Right in their face. Totally blindsiding them. Yeah, that's what just happened. Boss move.
Right. You guys want to stand over here? You might as well. You're the ones that help produce those numbers, and it'll only get better. The tariffs are so important, and that's why we were so happy with the decision yesterday.
You're the ones that help produce those numbers, and they're just getting started. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thoughts. Patriots, we just witnessed something extraordinary. A billionaire genius who could have spent his days on a yacht instead chose to wade into the swamp, take unlimited abuse, watch his companies go under literal firebomb attacks, and expose corruption that nobody else had the frickin' balls to touch. But Elon Musk, what'd he do? He brought in big balls in his team. They didn't just find waste. He found $160 billion worth of pure theft from the American people. And for that, they called him a Nazi. They attacked his companies and now plot criminal charges. But here's what they don't understand. Elon has planted seeds that will grow into a forest of accountability. And the Democrats and the swamp monsters will get lost in that forest, never to be seen again. And those servers in the White House, still there. That army of patriots he inspired, still fighting. The young men who see him as a hero, well, they're the future of the America First movement. So here's my question for you. Do you believe Elon Musk will run for president in 2028? I think I know the answer to that because he's not eligible. But regardless, maybe he should just run for governor of California. What do you think about that? Yes or no? Drop your answer below. And check out our merch shop, linked in the description. Wear your support proudly. Oh man, fake news pisses me off. But you know what makes me happy? Super chats! Super chats! Super chats! Super chat time! Super chat coming! Cannonball. Cannonball coming. Okay, where we got? And Bass, $4.99. A hippo character. Head pops out of water, surrounded by his hippo squad. What's up, Ann Bass? Thank you. There's $5 right there in the jar. Alex Jones was right again. Our Boyd, all hail the Doge Father. And God bless Donald J. Trump. Never forget what they did to us. We will never forget. Boom. Angel Lawrence. She just dropped $10 in the jar. Thank you, Angel, for that. $10 right there from Angel. Boom. Thank you so much for that. And Tony, $5 N3 family for life. What'd she say here? A little something for the jar. Alex Jones was right, jar. A little something, something. There we go. Thank you, Tony. And looks like we got another one just came in. $2. $2. Where's my $2? From God is good all the time. Amen. That's true. That's a lot of food stamp fraud that they found. Ain't that true? Okay. Thank you. We are at $31.99. The boot heel of suppression is heavy on this channel right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. Clearly, YouTube is not allowing our viewers to know that we're even live. I got a message today from someone. They're like, hey, man, I was in the comments, and they're like, holy cow, I actually saw you in my news feed today. I haven't seen you in my news feed in months. Yeah, algorithmic suppression, that's what's happening. The only way to combat it is if every one of you folks, all 327 of you watching right now, text the link to somebody. That's what you have to do. Because what happens when you text that link and they come to the channel, YouTube sees them and says, oh, this person likes the channel, so it increases the opportunity for the algorithm to show that person our videos again in the future. Not just to come to the channel now, but it also tags that person as somebody who likes the Next News Network or who has come to the Next News Network. That's the only way we can beat this thing. What, Brian? Trivia question. And Tom B420 just dropped $5. Thank you, Tom B, for that. Okay, the answer to our trivia question, as you want to know, you guys said NASA. You said the answer was B. It's actually the Civil Aeronautics Board. The answer is C. They tried to kill private space flight. Yeah. Way to go, guys. NASA. No, it wasn't. Civil Aeronautics Board. They tried to kill private spaceflight in the 1960s, claiming only government should explore space. Exactly like today's attacks on SpaceX. Okay, now we're going to go to our next trivia question. Remember, you can answer the trivia question in the poll, in the comments, or in the chat room. Which First Lady effectively ran the government after her husband's stroke in 1919, keeping his incapacitation secret from Congress and the public for 17 months? We should have a E, Jill Biden, right? Was it A, Eleanor Roosevelt, B, Edith Wilson, C, Florence Harding, or D, Grace Coolidge? Ooh, who was it? Resto guy dropping $10. We're going to get the answer to that after this segment. Thank you, Resto. Cash is coming in. Did you guys share this thing yet? Yeah, see, that shows you just how loyal people are. I tell people to share, and they're like, oh, I'm going to leave this YouTube channel now. Good. All right, thank you. We're going to go into our next topic of the evening, the Autopen saga. The Autopen saga continues, and what's emerging from the shadows will shake this republic to its foundation. 4 White House staffers, all lawyered up and running scared, all holding secrets about who really ran America while Joe Biden couldn't find his way off a stage. Cabinet meetings run by the First Lady. Executive orders signed by a machine. A surge of radical policies in Biden's final 100 days that nobody voted for. Now House Republicans are closing in with subpoenas, and the rats are abandoning ship. What you're about to see proves the greatest constitutional crime in American history was happening right under our noses while the media covered it up. So keep watching. We're going to break it all down. And just like Biden's handlers kept Americans in the dark about who really ran our government, too many parents keep their kids in the dark about liberty's principles. Remember, freedom is never more than one generation from extinction. And that's why the Tuttle Twins magazine teaches children about economics, liberty, and personal responsibility. I love these books. I love these magazines. I'm a subscriber. I'm a big fan. And these are excellent gifts for any member of your family. Remember, the truth the establishment doesn't want you knowing. It's contained in their monthly magazine. They use comics, activities, and stories to arm your kids, your grandkids, with real knowledge about how government actually works. So you can subscribe for just $56 for an entire year, and it supports this channel. TuttleTwins.com/next. Very simple. TuttleTwins.com/next. I'm a subscriber. I read these books. I'm actually in one of these books. My kids. That's true. So don't let your children grow up believing the lies. Give them the truth. TuttleTwins.com/next. The next generation will thank you. So the Biden Autopen scandal just reached critical mass. What started as whispers about a president who couldn't function has exploded into the biggest constitutional crisis since Watergate. And unlike Watergate, this one involves the entire Democrat establishment. Stephen A. Smith just went nuclear on his show, delivering a scorching indictment of everyone who knew Biden was gone but kept lying to America. Watch, the sports commentator. He sees what political journalists refuse to report. Watch.
I don't cover politics. I was covering sports, and 2 years before the election, almost 2 years before the election, I was pointing the finger at Joe Biden and what I saw. To me, if you had 2 eyes and you could see, you saw what the hell was going on here. You saw debilitation kicking in. You saw, not incapacitated, but pretty damn close. He just didn't seem like himself. And you knew something was fishy was going on. And I think that right now, as everybody looks to Jake Tapper and Alex Thompson and their book, Original Sin, I think the biggest thing to peel from that are the culprits within the Democratic Party who knew about the cognitive decline far more up close than you, myself, or many, many other American citizens knew. And they were not only complicit, but were willing to circumvent the Constitution of the United States. They were willing to shove aside the wishes of American voters. They understood what the system entails. They wanted to bypass a primary. They wanted to bypass elements of the democratic process in order to ensure that their guy was in office instead of Donald Trump. And to me, when you've walked around as a party labeling Donald Trump an existential threat for years, and then a book comes out detailing how several people within the administration and within the Democratic Party may have been guilty of this instead of Trump, I find that to be incredibly alarming, and it's something, usually I'm getting on you for how dogged you are and relentless and persistent you are with your takes on the Democratic Party, Sean, but you will not get a dissenting word from me. I think hell needs to rain down upon anybody that was complicit and involved in anything.
You can say it.
Hell needs to rain down on anybody that was complicit. Oh, yes, hell needs to rain down. And Stephen A. just getting started. The smoking gun? Jill Biden, remember? She was running cabinet meetings. This video from inside the White House shows the moment everyone realized who was really in charge, and it wasn't the president of the frickin' United States. Watch.
We're grateful that Jill is here today. Heard that clapping. It wasn't for me when we came in. And here across previous administration, First Ladies have attended these meetings for specific reasons. This is the first time Jill has joined us, and it goes to show how important the issue is, which she's about to speak to the both of us. Today, at the top of our meeting, Jill's going to give an update on the House initiative, White House initiative, to fundamentally change the approach and fund how we approach and fund women's health services.
The guy is freaking gone. Gone. His wife is running the cabinet meeting. Jill's going to open up with remarks about the House and what they're going to do. Blah, 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 blah. Jill, turn on the Autopen. He probably couldn't even command that.
So I'd like to turn it over to Jill and for any comments she has. And it's all yours, kid.
Thank you.
It's all yours, kid. Yeah, you know, Jill was his babysitter, right? Yeah. Biden was banging the babysitter. And now she's running the cabinet meetings.
You know, sometimes the White House surprises you.
Yeah, thanks, Jill. Appreciate that. It's all yours, kid. Biden literally handed control of the executive branch to his wife in front of everyone. The former babysitter. House Oversight Chairman James Comer, he just dropped the hammer. The 4 staffers who knew where the bodies are buried have now all lawyered up. They know what's coming. Watch now as Comer explains what they've discovered about Biden's final 100 days. Watch.
Just like we did in the Biden influence peddling investigation, we followed the money. We found the shell companies. We found the bank accounts. We're going to do the same thing with this Autopen. Who was giving the authority for use of the Autopen? Remember, Sean, there was more activity in the last 100 days of the Biden administration than the first 3.5 years of the Biden administration. Many of the far-reaching executive orders were signed during the last 100 days, and they were all signed by the Autopen. We don't believe that you can sign a legal document with an Autopen. If I issue a subpoena, I have to fly to Washington, D.C. to manually sign my signature on that subpoena. Anything pertaining to the law has to be signed by a person. We know the Autopen was used. No one in the Biden administration is denying that the Autopen was used. No one now is denying that Joe Biden wasn't, mentally fit to make some of these decisions. So what I can tell you tonight is the four staffers that we've asked to come in for transcribed interviews, they have all lawyered up. They are taking this very seriously, and this is going to be a battle to get to the truth.
They've all lawyered up because they're scared shitless. That's why. And they should be. More activity in the last 100 days than the first 3.5 years, all signed by a frickin' machine. Will Cain, he exploded on Fox, calling out Jake Tapper and the entire mainstream media for their sudden revelations about Biden's condition. This epic rant exposes the gaslighting operation that we all live through. Watch.
I am, for one, exhausted today to wake up and continue to give credit and see the revelations of the mainstream media reporting that the sky is blue for years of telling us the sky is red when you and I know the sky is blue. So I am exhausted of hearing stuff like this from Jake Tapper.
We never got somebody that said, we should never have done this. I can't believe we did it. In retrospect, it was a mistake. How arrogant we were. I mean, even, there was a top White House aide who acknowledged to me that this short 10, 15-minute interview I did with Joe Biden in October 2022, he would not have been capable of doing in October 2023. I think that most were telling the truth as
just shut your frickin' pie hole, Jake. All right? You want to sit there and try to peddle your book in front of America now? No amount of media interviews and books you sell is going to change anything. You covered it up. You were part of the crime, and for that you should be held accountable. I don't know what kind of crime it is. It's a crime against America. It makes me sick every time I see this guy doing these book tours. He knew the whole freaking time. But he'd go back on CNN and lie to those viewers. No amount of revelations that you disclose today will clean your filthy soul. Turd Tapper.
as much as they had come to terms with it themselves, but I do wonder where they will be in a year.
Where will you be in a year? I hope it's a frickin' prison cell.
You know, enough of Jake Tapper, who had the nerve to tell Stephen A. Smith that he also now sees that Letitia James was engaged in lawfare. We knew that. Those of us willing to tell the truth were called conspiracy theorists. We were called irresponsible. I don't need to wake up today once more to hear a new revelation from Jake Tapper for something you and I knew for the past half decade.
Yeah. Seems like Will Cain feels exactly like I do. And just like you. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to wake up today to hear revelations of Jake Tapper for something we knew for half a decade. Can you tell I'm mad? Can you tell I'm angry? Joe Biden's fine. Sharp as a tack. Those are deep fakes you're watching. No, he didn't really fall up the stairs on Air Force One 5 times. No, he didn't fall off the stage either. No. Oh, man. And we were called conspiracy theorists and liars. But our eyes saw the truth, and we presented that truth to you here every frickin' day for years. Now Jake Tapper has the nerve to put it all in a book to make a quick buck. Hell has a special place for people like Jake Tapper. The real scandal goes even deeper than just cognitive decline. Energy Secretary Wright revealed the mad dash to commit taxpayer money before Trump's inauguration. You know how much it was? $100 billion in just 76 days. Now think about this for a second. I'm going to show you the clip, but think about this. $100 billion in just 76 days. How much did the DOGE boys uncover? $160 billion? Now, Elon did a hell of a job, and I commend him for it, with all the arrows and attacks that he took. But Biden just dropped $100 billion in 76 days. Anyway, let's go to the clip.
Yeah, this is the thing I think that should alarm taxpayers. Nearly $100 billion of tax. Yeah, this is the thing I think that should alarm taxpayers. Nearly $100 billion of taxpayer money was committed to businesses all across this country to mostly build bridges to nowhere in 76 days after President Biden lost the election and before President Trump was inaugurated. Nearly $100 billion of taxpayer money was committed in just a rush and a mad dash to get money out the door.
That is
Who wins in that?
extraordinary. That is extraordinary. I mean, in other words, they had money that they wanted to spend. They knew that they lost the election, so they just wanted to just get it out and allocate it to wherever they wanted, even though, I mean, these projects were not necessarily in line with what the American people wanted.
Exactly. A little over $40 billion was committed in the previous 15 years. The whole history of the loan program office, Solyndra is a famous example of that, but a little over $40 billion over 15 years, and then $90 billion in 76 days. It's just appalling.
Wow.
They're spending your money like it's just confetti.
That
90 billion in 76 days versus 40 billion in the previous 15 years. Your money thrown away like confetti. Illinois State Representative Blaine Willauer connected the dots between the Autopen scandal and the border crisis. Watch him destroy Democrats for putting illegals on Medicaid while Americans suffer. Watch.
If the sponsor was aware that Joe Biden or whoever was running as Autopen massively expanded Medicaid under the guise of COVID, I was going to ask, shouldn't you at least have to be able to work to get Medicaid? And I was going to ask if people in this country illegally should get Medicaid. But really what I want to do is get a few things straight. Medicaid is for the vulnerable. It's not for freeloaders. It's not for lawbreakers. If you're able-bodied with no kids and you want taxpayer help, here's a little bit of advice. Get a job. Get out of mommy's basement. All right? Volunteer, train, do something. Work requirements aren't punishment. It's called being an adult, being a productive member of society. Work requirements don't hurt the sick and elderly. They just stop people from gaming the system that's been done too long. That's not cruel. It's common sense. We can't make America great again when we have able-bodied Americans that are completely out of the workforce and on the government dole. Now, perhaps if these folks were compelled to work, these corporations wouldn't be hiring illegal aliens who are driving down wages and eliminating opportunity for American citizens, Illinois citizens, the people that we're supposed to be looking out after. And while we're cleaning up Medicaid, let's be crystal clear about this too. Illegal immigrants shouldn't be getting free health care. Not while American veterans are sleeping under the bridge and on the street. Every dollar that we hand out to someone who broke our laws is a dollar that we steal from our own citizens. Now, Democrats want to turn Medicaid into this global free-for-all. We're here, Republicans, President Trump and the Republicans, we're here to protect it. We're here to protect it for Americans who actually earned it, who need it, and who follow the rules and are here legally. That's not extreme. It's called putting America first. That's what President Trump's trying to do. That's what he was elected to do. So, you know, we can make the emotional arguments, but at the end of the day, spare me the tears. The days of putting American citizens last are over.
Wow, coming from an Illinois state rep, huh? The days of putting American citizens last are over. The Autopen signed every one of those giveaways. Even Biden himself can't keep his story straight anymore. This shocking clip that has just surfaced today shows him claiming the shocking clip shows him claiming he's mentally incompetent in one breath while insisting he could have beaten any challenger in the next. Watch.
And there's also been a lot of discussion recently about your mental and physical capabilities while you were in office.
You can see that. I'm mentally incompetent and I can't walk and I can beat the hell out of both of them.
Well, do you want to reply to any of those reports and also to the fact that there are some Democrats who are now questioning whether you should have run for re-election in the first place?
Why didn't they run against me then? Because I'd have beaten them.
Do you have any regrets?
No, I don't.
Why did you run against me again? Oh, you smell really good. I mean, he said I'm mentally incompetent. I can't walk, and I can beat the hell out of both of them. I mean, the confusion is real. President Trump weighed in on the scandal, and his words should send a chill down every American's spine. It's not just about signatures, it's about who controlled the nuclear codes. Watch.
Do you think that Dr. Jill Biden should also have to come in and testify about what she did or didn't do?
Well, I hate the concept of it. It's the wife of a man who was going through a lot of problems, and everybody that dealt with him understood that. And I guess it came out during the debate loud and clear. That was the biggest signal of all. They have to do what's right. The country was there was a lot of dishonesty in the election, as you know, of 2020. That's been now caught. People understand it. It was a rigged election. And when you go further out, when you see the Autopen, I mean, I think the Autopen is going to become one of the great scandals of all time, because you have somebody operating it or a number of people operating. Because I knew Joe Biden. Joe Biden wasn't in favor of opening up borders, letting 21 million people into this from prisons and mental institutions and gang members. He wasn't into that at all. And, you know, who signed these orders, proclamations, and all of the different things that he signed that set our country so far back, that was so bad for our country?
Yeah. What if it was Obama the whole time? Remember that little clip used to circulate all the time? If I had a chance to run a third term and have a puppet president with a little earpiece in his ear telling him what to do, I'd love it. Yeah. What if it was Obama in the shadows, pushing a button on the Autopen? Man. Anyway, you know, you heard Trump say it. The Autopen is going to become one of the great scandals of all time. Trump knows just how deep it goes. Nick Shirley took to the streets to ask Democrats about the cover-up, and their responses will blow your mind. They're actually okay with being lied to as long as it kept Trump out. Watch.
How do you feel about them covering up Joe Biden, the media, and the White House?
Why does that bother you? Does it bother me that they covered him up? Wow, you know, that's a good question, because, you know, we were in dire straits at the time, I feel, you know. So Joe's a good man. He did a lot. He created an economy that was beautiful, and then within 100 days, it was demolished. You asked a really good question, actually.
Because shouldn't people be concerned about the media that gets put out into America if they openly knew that Joe Biden was not well, yet they said that he was well for the rest of America to see and vote on?
Yeah.
Do you not feel offended that the media lied to people of the Democratic Party in the way they did?
You don't feel offended. Well, look at the other side. There's nothing but lies and lies and lies over lies. And it's just an ad nauseum lies. So the Democrats tried to protect Joe. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that.
Poor guy. Totally deceived. The Democrats tried to protect Joe, and I'm okay with that. This is how democracy dies. But here's the kicker. Patrick Bet-David just revealed the legal bombshell that nobody is talking about. Pardons require a wet signature, not an Autopen. Every pardon Biden issued might actually be invalid. Watch. Oh, and this is an image? My bad. It's a post from Donald J. Trump, not Patrick Bet-David. Sorry about that. The pardons of Sleepy Joe Biden gave the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs and many others are hereby declared void, vacant, and of no further force or effect, because the fact that they were done by Autopen. In other words, Joe Biden did not sign them, but more importantly, he did not know anything about them. The necessary pardoning documents were not explained to or approved by Biden. He knew nothing about them, and the people that did may have committed a crime. Therefore, those on the Unselect Committee who destroyed deleted all evidence obtained during their 2-year witch hunt of me and many other innocent people should fully understand that they are subject to investigation at the highest level. The fact is, they were probably responsible for the documents that were signed on their behalf without the knowledge or consent of the worst president in the history of America. Crooked Joe Biden. That was on March 16th of this year, President Trump declaring that truth. So this means that Fauci, Milley, and the J6 committee might not be as protected as they think. The establishment's defense is crumbling. Elizabeth Warren, attacking Pete Hegseth while potentially running the Autopen herself, shows just how deep the corruption goes. Watch.
Senator, real fast, what qualifies you to vote against Pete Hegseth when you support dangerous open border policies? You don't want to answer about open borders?
Sure, I'm really happy to answer,
yes.
And that is, it is dangerous to the national security when we have someone who has repeatedly been drunk. We have affidavits, we have eyewitnesses who have said this. I care about the national security of the United States because I care about my children and my grandchildren.
Oh, yeah, I care about my children and my grandchildren. Oh, man. Pocahontas Warren. God bless Laura Loomer for getting that out there. She runs from questions about the border while attacking patriots. Classic deflection from someone with something to hide. Fox News has now officially confirmed the deadline. Today is the day these staffers must agree to testify or face subpoenas. The walls are closing in on everyone who participated in this constitutional coup. Watch.
Fox News alert, today is a big deadline in a House Oversight Committee's investigation. The panel looking for answers on former President Biden's mental fitness and exactly how much control he actually wielded during his time in office. I'm Jackie Heinrich in for Harris. This is the Faulkner Focus. Biden's former White House physician and 4 aides have until the end of today to agree to the committee's request for a transcribed interview. If they don't, the committee says it will subpoena them. Former Oversight Chair Jason Chaffetz emphasized the investigation's importance.
Chairman Comer is doing this the right way. You got to bring in the underlying employees. You start getting them on the record under oath, telling us who, how, who authorized this, who was allowed to put in it, who was in the chain of custody of these documents. It is the most powerful thing you have, the signature of the President of the United States.
Under oath, on the record, that is when the truth comes out. Even when Biden tries to speak now, the truth is undeniable. This painful clip from a recent paid speaking engagement shows why his family keeps sending him out there, because he's still their meal ticket. Watch.
The idea of America was founded out. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal, endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We meant it. That's who we are. That's what makes America the most unique nation in the world. Literally, not figuratively. In fact,
life, liberty, and the pursuit of don't even know the thing. Elder abuse in real time. And they're still cashing the checks. Gutfeld delivered the perfect summary on Fox, explaining how the media's complicity in the cover-up has destroyed their credibility forever. His monologue nails exactly why the scandal matters. Watch.
So the media's been trying to blame the White House for lying to them about Joe Biden's sorry state. But like the hole that I drilled in our green room bathroom, Americans see right through it. Nice boxers, Dean. According to Rasmussen, 63% of voters say major media were not fooled and instead helped cover it all up. And 72% rate the cover-up of Biden's mental meltdown as a, quote, serious scandal. That's huge. You couldn't get 72% of Americans to agree on anything, except maybe that Kilmeade sucks. I know, he does. Okay, we get it. So what's their second spin? Make it about Trump's health, not Biden's.
President Trump, while he appears healthy, he has not been transparent about his health records. And I think that that's something that the American people have a right to.
While we didn't know that much about Joe Biden's health, we know even less about Donald Trump's health. He was completely untransparent during the 2023-2024 campaign. He has not been transparent since, and there is no mechanism forcing him or any future president to being transparent about their health. He could be on anything. We really have no idea.
What? Yes, you do, you ass! We didn't know much about Biden's health, but we know even less about Trump's. Dude, we see Trump every single day. We hear his voice, we read his tweets, we hear him when he's not even around. The contrast couldn't be more obvious. Trump got shot in the ear and jumped right up, while Biden kept losing a fight with gravity. And yet, that's the lesson you learn now after ignoring Biden all this time? You're turning the real scandal about Joe into a fake scandal about Trump.
72% of Americans rate this as a serious scandal. The media can't spin their way out of this one. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is right now. The story is far from over, Patriots. What we've uncovered today is just the tip of the iceberg. And we'll be following every development, every subpoena, every revelation as this constitutional nightmare unravels. The Autopen Scandal isn't just about fake signatures. It's about a stolen presidency, a hijacked republic, and a media industrial complex that conspired to hide it all from you. 4 years of decisions that shaped America's future, signed by a machine while the real president couldn't find his way off of a stage. So mark my words, when those staffers finally testify under oath, the truth will shake this nation to its core. And we're going to be here covering every bombshell as it drops. This is the story that ends the Democrat Party as we know it. So here's my question. Should everyone involved in the Autopen cover-up face criminal charges for constitutional fraud? Yes or no? Sound off below. You can get your Next News gear and support our work here. Shop.nextnewsnetwork.com. Support real journalism, not fake news. Okay. Wyatt Earp, keep on keeping on, brother. Dropping $10 in the jar. Thank you, sir. This one's for you. We're keeping on keeping on. That's what we do here. Speaking of keeping on, let's go to that trivia question. Was the answer Jill Biden? You guys said Eleanor Roosevelt, 59%. Let's find out. Brian, they got it wrong. The answer was B, Edith Wilson. She effectively ran the government for 17 months after President Wilson's stroke, eerily similar to today's Biden cover-up. Okay. Where are we going to go from here? Keep on keeping on? Yes, we will. We got this trivia question for you here. Which president faced the most federal court injunctions before Trump, and how many did he receive during his entire presidency? Was it A, Reagan with 31 injunctions, B, Obama with 12 injunctions, C, Nixon with 28 injunctions, or is it D, Clinton with 12 injunctions and a blowjob in the Oval Office? You can leave your answer in the chat room, in the comments below, or in the poll. Don't skip ahead. Don't Google it. I want to hear your answers. I'm going to be watching the chat room and the poll numbers. Let's get to our next topic of the night. $79 injunctions in just over 4 months. Let that number sink in. That's more than every president from Clinton to Biden combined receiving in their entire terms. This is not justice. This is called judicial warfare. Unelected judges in black robes are overturning the will of 80 million Americans who voted for change. Stephen Miller just exposed their game on live TV, while the numbers reveal the coordinated assault on our republic itself. Federal judges who represent a loud minority with less than 20% approval are blocking every move Trump makes to save this country. And what you're about to witness in this report is the most blatant abuse of judicial power in American history. The deep state's last weapon is being deployed. Keep watching as we unravel it all. And just like activist judges threaten our constitutional republic, the collapse of the American bee population threatens our food sovereignty. Grocery bills are up 40% while our pollinators disappear. PatriotBeeBest.com is fighting back, restoring bee habitats, and protecting our food supply from total collapse. This veteran-owned movement isn't just about bees, it's about preserving American self-reliance. And when you visit PatriotBeeBest.com, you fund real restoration projects and support local beekeepers defending our food chain. Subscribe now with promo code NEXTNEWS for 25% off and get the Patriot Bee Digest with actionable info and family content. Go to PatriotBeeBest.com, protect the bees, and preserve the republic. The judicial coup against President Trump is now undeniable. 79 injunctions versus Biden's 14, Obama's 12, and Bush's 6. This is not law, it's lawfare on steroids. And Stephen Miller just exposed the entire corrupt game. CNN's Pamela Brown thought she had Stephen Miller cornered with a loaded question about judicial oversight. What happened next was a masterclass in destroying fake news narratives. Watch as Miller dismantles her lazy assumptions and exposes the constitutional crisis that these activist judges have created. Watch.
Do you think a judge should just rubber stamp what your White House does? If not, what checks and balances do you think should be in place for this White House?
It is not the job of a district court judge to perform an individual green light or red light on every single policy that the president takes as the head of the executive branch. Just think about the premise baked into your question, respectfully, Pam. You're saying that when the American people elect a president of the United States of America,
I'm not saying
well, it's the implication.
I'm not saying that. No, stop beating up on me, Stephen Miller. No, please do, please.
The sole head of the executive branch. Well, let me finish. I will answer the question happily. But look, when you have these kinds of lazy assumptions built into questions, it makes it hard to have a constructive dialogue.
What is a lazy assumption? I said you all had to win.
You said is it my expectation?
I'm speaking because now you're putting.
You said is it my?
I'm speaking. What do you think you are, Kamala Harris? Make me a sandwich.
Expectation. It's not just you. It's the whole media. In other words, when you hear a sentence like,
it is a completely fair question. You say judges rule against the White House.
And I will gladly answer it. When you say, do we think district court judges should rubber stamp each action? There is a premise that is built into that is absurd. The president is the sole head of the executive branch. He's the only officer in the entire government that's elected by the entire American people. Democracy cannot function. In fact, democracy does not exist at all if each action the president takes, foreign policy, diplomatic, military, national security, has to be individually approved by 700 district court judges. That's democracy. So if there's 15 communist crazy judges on the court, that each of them as a team working together can block and freeze each and every executive action.
God, I love Stephen Miller. Democracy does not exist if 700 district court judges can block every executive action. He just defined the real threat to our republic. But no, CNN couldn't let that stand. Dana Bash rushed to defend her colleague Pamela Brown, claiming there was nothing lazy about the questioning. Watch this desperate attempt at damage control as the network circles the wagons to protect their failing narrative. Watch.
For the record, there is nothing lazy about Pamela Brown in any way, particularly when it comes to her intellect.
Nice try, Dana. Nice try. We've had your number for years. Oh, yeah, going all the way back to the Ron Paul campaign. Yeah, we've been deconstructing your freaking narrative since then. So, no amount of gaslighting the American people is going to work. Stephen Miller dismantled her, and you guys look like fools, and you will always look like fools. Is there more to this? Oh, I guess there's a couple more seconds. Let's see.
Let's discuss what we just heard and more with our terrific group of reporters here. CNN's David Chalian, Jasmine Wright of Notice, Laura Barron-Lopez of PBS NewsHour, and Nia Malika Henderson of CNN. And
yeah, you got to bring in the whole panel to deconstruct the train wreck that just happened with Stephen Miller. Good luck with that. The lady doth protest too much. When you're defending lazy assumptions, you've already lost the argument. Erica on X laid out the shocking statistics that prove this is coordinated judicial warfare. This young lady has more credibility than everybody at CNN because her breakdown of presidential injunctions tells you everything about how the system targets conservatives versus protecting liberals. The numbers will blow your mind, and this girl is just talking in her freaking kitchen. Watch.
Court injunctions for previous presidents. Biden's 14 in 4 years. Clinton 12 in 8 years. Bush 6 in 8 years. Obama 12 in 8 years. Trump 79 in 4 years and 5 months. So apparently, a minority party with less than 20% approval rating gets to go around and deny the people of what they voted for. And they are backed behind non-elected federal judges. And then they'll deflect and say that we're the ones causing the constitutional crisis. We are the ones breaking democracy. You want to hear how democracy works? You have multiple presidential candidates. The people, the voters, hear every single plan of every single candidate. Then they get to go home, sit on their couch, choose which option do I like more? Who aligns with me more? Who's doing what I want to get done? And then they go out and vote for that candidate. That's democracy. What's not democracy is having the election. Someone gets elected because the American people voted on that person. It's a landslide election nonetheless. And then the second they step foot into office, you have non-elected federal judges that the people didn't choose trying to block every move that elected person ever tries to make. So again, I'll ask, we're the ones causing the constitutional crisis and breaking democracy? Yeah, I don't think so. When again, those non-elected judges represent a loud minority in this country that the rest of the American voters disapprove of. Only 20% of America actually approves of that minority's opinion. And the rest of us, 80%, have to suffer and watch the person we elected to do the jobs we knew they were going to do because of that 20%. Obama was a war criminal who gave our weapons to ISIS, ran fast and furious at the border, put kids in cages, and deported more non-criminals than criminals all 8 years of his presidency, and even he only had 12 court injunctions. When you see a number like 79 in 4 years, you know that the justice system is being weaponized, but you won't talk about that ever. Just like you won't talk about the fact that a member of our DOJ was leaked in a conversation with a friend at a bar in saying that Trump's charges were inflated so that he couldn't run for office. And of course, none of you have seen it because the media buried it. And of course, none of you that have seen it will ever talk about it because you want to keep using it. You can't admit that the justice system is weaponized against Trump right now. And then you have the cojones to, in the same breath, call us democracy wreckers and that we are causing the constitutional crisis. Just like it was okay for the last 20 years for you guys to want to change, question, and ban, abolish 2A, but we can't question, edit, or ban a different constitutional amendment. It's the same crap, different day with this party.
Yeah, she has more credibility than CNN in her kitchen, just like Mark Dice. 79 injunctions for Trump versus single digits for everyone else. This is what a judicial coup looks like in real time. Now, CNN tried to spin this as democracy in action, but their own polling reveals America sees through the lies. Watch as they're forced to admit less than half of Americans believe that Trump keeps his promises, not because he doesn't, but because judges block him at every turn. Watch.
Yeah, you know, Kate, I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, so I know what losing feels like. And I will tell you that the courts have halted Trump's admin agenda a huge number of times. What are we talking about? We're talking about at least 181 times that they have temporarily, at least temporarily, halted Trump's agenda. That is a huge number. To give you that in percentage terms, In over 50% of the cases that are presented to courts, the Trump administration agenda has been halted, at least temporarily. So Donald Trump, tries to do these actions with his administration, but the courts have been saying, hold on, wait a minute here. And they have said that at least 181 times so far in just the first few months of this administration.
Quite a number. On tariffs, some of the latest is this moniker that Wall Street we're learning that's being thrown around on Wall Street, which is TACO, an acronym for Trump always chickens out.
Yes.
You have numbers on that.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the things, you hear these things going on, you say, okay, is this actually entering the mainstream culture? And we can see this right here in Google searches. The top term that was Googled with Donald Trump on Thursday was TACO. It was TACO. Indeed, get this, the terms Trump and TACO Googled together up through the roof. Get this, 9,900% increase on Thursday versus Tuesday. So if you are wondering whether or not this Trump always chickens out and the acronym TACO actually has entered the mainstream, well, Google gives it away. It 100% has. And this to me is quite troubling for Donald Trump because obviously he trades on his name. He trades on the idea that he does what he says. And if all of a sudden you're associating Trump always chickens out with Donald Trump, well, that is no bueno.
No bueno, huh? Trump always chickens out? TACO? That's the new narrative? When judges block every move? That is called pure propaganda. Over on the 5, on Fox, they broke down how this judicial blockade actually works. Emily Compagno explained the administrative law judge system that's been weaponized against Trump's agenda. This shadow judiciary operates outside of normal channels. Watch.
All right, so this is the process that we have, and there's a judicial branch, Emily, that's weighing in here. And the Trump administration is going to appeal, so we're a little bit in limbo. Where do you see it?
Yeah, and these are administrative law judges, right? So it's sort of on a different channel that I think a lot of people don't realize has really a big effect on our country, including the Social Security Administration and a lot of different agencies. But then it gets sort of put into the track of obviously the circuit court and eventually SCOTUS. Look, the senior judge had this quote, which was, it may be a very dandy plan, but it has to meet the statute. So at the end of the day, these judges argued that this particular statute did not levy the authority to the president to deal with tariffs, right? Only embargoes and sanctions. And then they said, and even if it did, this doesn't rise to the level of a national emergency because we've been sitting and drowning in these tariffs for 49 years. Now, the counter argument to that, the White House was like, no, it is an emergency. Actually, just because we've been sitting in it doesn't make it less acute. And also, indeed, I do have the authority. So now that was stayed. It will go, I'm sure, to the Supreme Court. And also, though, note this, that I think they're going to start just leveraging all of these tariffs under other statutes. So they're going to say, fine, I can't use this particular one. I'm going to start leveraging the same analogs in others.
Do you think Congress would pass any other laws, Jesse, to see if they could, like the Republicans
Congress?
figure out a way?
No.
Yeah.
Congress isn't going to do anything about this. He has the statutory authority, but you're right, Emily. They just have to invoke a different act. You could invoke the Trade Act of 1974, of 1930. You could expand it to different sectors because steel, aluminum, and auto tariffs are still on. You could say it's a national security threat. You could say it's retaliatory because in other countries discriminatory. These things are going to go up no matter what. No matter what the courts say, he has the authority to do it.
One of our viewers just sent a message here. TACO. Trump always cashes out. That's what it really means. But you saw Jesse Waters, he nailed it. He has the statutory authority. These judges are making up law as they go. But the real bombshell came when federal courts declared Trump's tariffs illegal right after they cut our trade deficit in half. CBS News had to report it, but watch now as they frame this constitutional overreach as legitimate oversight. Watch.
Stocks are mixed today as investors react to news about President Trump's tariff plan. A federal trade court has ruled most of the taxes that the president sought to impose on foreign goods have been deemed illegal. Natalie Brand has a look now at the impact of this latest ruling.
The three-judge panel that made this ruling included one appointed by President Trump during his first term. The judges in it say that the law used to enact many of these tariffs do not give the president blanket authority. The White House continues to defend its tariff strategy as a matter of national security.
The Trump administration says it will appeal after the Court of International Trade ruled the president overstepped his authority in enacting sweeping tariffs on nearly all trading partners.
These activist judges are trying to slow down something right in the middle of really important negotiations. I'm sure that when we appeal, that this decision will be overturned.
The new ruling applies to the administration's 10% baseline tariff on most trading partners and the separate tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada related to fentanyl and immigration. It does not apply to tariffs on specific products, including autos, aluminum, and steel. But analysts say it could impact trade negotiations underway over the president's reciprocal tariffs, now on pause until July.
Activist judges trying to slow down important negotiations. Even Trump's own appointees are being used against him. Oregon's attorney general thought he'd won by getting Trump's Liberation Day tariffs frozen, but within hours, the appeals court reinstated them. Watch this premature victory lap turn into humiliation as the higher court had to step in. Watch.
Well, it was a win for Oregon's attorney general and other states after a federal court declared many of President Trump's tariffs illegal. This is KOIN 6 News at 4. I'm Mia Villanueva.
And I'm Jeff Gianola. And now that victory is on hold because the U.S. Court of Appeals granting the Trump administration's request a few hours ago to temporarily halt that lower court ruling against those tariffs.
One anchor says yes. The other anchor says no. Oh, yeah. This is glorious.
Oregon's Attorney General Dan Rayfield talking with KOIN 6 after a legal victory that put President Trump's Liberation Day tariffs on hold. Rayfield calling the ruling a victory for Oregonians and people across America.
This is an incredibly big moment, right? This is where a president has tried to assert significant authority without congressional oversight in a way that would have been a tax on all of us.
The U.S. Court of International Trade freezing the president's sweeping 10%.
Wait, did he say president's executive authority without congressional oversight? I don't believe that's how it works. There's three separate but equal branches of government. Okay. That's the Oregon Attorney General, apparently.
Tariffs against other nations and the targeted levies on goods from Canada, Mexico, and China. But will that ruling hold? Just hours after the Trump administration petitioned a court to allow it to continue imposing its tariffs. The White House saying, quote, "It is not for unelected judges to decide how to properly address a national emergency."
These activist judges are trying to slow down something right in the middle of really important negotiations. I'm sure that when we appeal, that this decision will be overturned.
That's the type of thing you say when you're losing consistently in our courts. I think it is a hallmark of our democracy to have an independent judiciary because we believe that no one person in our government, whether that is Congress, a president, or a judges, should have that much power.
A federal...
And I'm sure his wife's boyfriend loves watching as well. That's the type of thing you say when you're losing. Constantly in our courts. They can't stop what's coming. The pattern is crystal clear. Every time Trump tries to secure the border, cut spending, or put America first, a federal judge somewhere blocks it. Then the media spins it as Trump is failing to deliver. It's a rigged game, and they're not even hiding it anymore. So these aren't neutral arbiters of justice. These are political operatives in black robes installed by the previous administration specifically to stop the America First agenda, to stop you from having a successful life, from living the American dream. They coordinate with Democrat attorneys general to get their talking points from the same source and issue rulings within hours of each other. The media wants you to believe this is democracy, that unelected judges overturning the will of the people somehow protects the republic. But Americans aren't buying it. When you need 79 injunctions to stop one president's agenda, you're not defending democracy, you're destroying it. So what is their endgame? Well, simple. Tie up every single Trump initiative in court until 2028, then claim he failed to deliver. Run the clock out while America burns. But Trump is not playing their game anymore. Multiple statutory authorities, appeals courts, and ultimately the Supreme Court stand ready. The establishment just revealed their final weapon. A judiciary so corrupted by politics it's willing to destroy the separation of powers to stop one man. But that one man has 80 million Americans behind him. And we're done watching unelected tyrants in robes overturn our votes. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thought. This is it, patriots. We've reached the end game of the deep state's war on our republic. When you need 79 federal injunctions to stop a duly elected president, more than all recent presidents combined, you're witnessing something far more sinister than political opposition. This is judicial tyranny, plain and simple. So think about what we have learned from this report. Activist judges, many installed in the final days of the previous administration, are coordinating with Democrat attorneys to block every single America First policy. They're not interpreting law, they're making it up. They're not protecting the Constitution, they're shredding it. And the media? They are cheering it on while gaslighting you about who's really threatening democracy. You saw Stephen Miller. He exposed their game perfectly. These judges want you to believe that 700 unelected lawyers in black robes should have veto power over a president that you elected. That's not democracy. That's judicial dictatorship. Every blocked order, every blocked security measure means that more fentanyl killing is going to kill our kids. Every frozen energy policy means higher prices at the pump. Every halted trade deal means more American jobs shipped overseas. But here's what they don't understand. Americans are watching. We see the coordination. We see the timing. We see how they file in friendly districts with Obama and Biden judges. We see how rulings come down within hours of each other using identical language. This is not justice, it's orchestrated sabotage. The question isn't whether it's happening, it's what we're going to do about it. Trump has the tools, appeals courts, the Supreme Court, multiple statutory authorities, but more importantly, has us. 80 million Americans who won't let unelected tyrants overturn our vote. So here's my question for you. Should Trump use Article 2 powers to simply ignore unconstitutional injunctions from activist judges? Simply yes or no. The founders never intended for district judges to have veto power over the executive branch. Remember that. And don't forget to grab your Next News gear at the Next News Merch Shop. Wear your resistance proudly. Okay. You guys said it was Reagan with 31 injunctions. A. No. The answer was D. Bill Clinton. He faced 12 injunctions over 8 years. Yeah. Bill Clinton, 14 injunctions total. Biden also had 14 in his 4 years. Trump's injunction, 79 in just over 4 years. Represents nearly 6 times more judicial obstruction than any previously elected president. All right. Where are we now? Okay, let's check in here, see where everyone's at in the big chat room. And is my big chat button doesn't work anymore? It should still work. I don't know why it wouldn't work. Well, I'm going to bring up the X feed here, see if we can check in on some of the latest. What the hell? Can we get that up? Is it up? Thank you, sir. Okay, 3 hours ago, this woman was arrested for DUI and is currently going viral for how professional she handled her arrest and how good the officer handled the situation.
I'm sorry, getting in the car?
You have to, okay? You don't have a choice. You're under arrest. Have a seat in the car, please.
No, I'm not getting in that car.
You have to get in the car.
Why?
Because you're under arrest for driving under the influence. Okay?
I'm just not getting in the car.
You have to get in the car.
Come on, you gotta get in the car.
Please have a seat in the car.
Come on, get in the car. Don't make this harder than it has to be. Go.
Don't make it harder than it has to be, right? Get in the back seat. She's probably very familiar with back seats.
You don't have a choice. You're under arrest. Please have a seat in the car.
I'm sorry, but what in the test that we did just proves that
That could all be explained later, but you are under arrest, okay?
I'm not going to go under the arrest.
You have to.
You don't have a
seat in the car.
I'm not going in this car without knowing
You failed
what
the
I
test.
did when I didn't fail no exams.
Miss,
I'm sorry.
Get into the car.
Have a seat in the car now.
We don't want to have to put you in the car.
I didn't fail my exam, so
Okay,
I don't.
have a seat in the car. Get in
I'm
the car.
not getting in this car without
Have a seat in the car.
knowing what.
Miss, get in the car.
I'm
Have a seat in
sorry,
the car.
but it's scaring me because I don't know
Okay.
what I did.
Okay.
When I didn't do
But you're
anything.
being told you are under arrest, okay? Have a seat in the car.
Respectfully, sir, I am driving home to my family and I didn't do anything. So why are you accusing me?
We're not. You are under arrest. You have to get into the car.
Have a seat in the car.
I didn't fail no exam. So
Okay.
why are you
Have a
doing
seat in the
this?
car.
I have a lot of things going on tomorrow.
Okay, get in the car.
Oh my God, this is not fair because I'm literally trying to become one of your stupid people respectfully.
Okay,
but
well, have a seat in the car.
That's not fair.
Listen, if you want to have a chance
I
of
pulled up
listen,
because the guy in front
if you
of
want to have a
me-
chance of anything, listen to our instructions and have a seat in the car.
You
Have a seat
really
in the car.
are because you know what it is.
Have a seat in the car. We don't want to have to put you in the car.
You literally were your whole life, but you're not trying to help me.
Okay.
Getting in the car
You have to.
Yeah, she's going viral. And I can think of a couple reasons why. Remember, don't drink and drive, kids. What else is going on? Town hall 2 hours ago. It wouldn't be a Trump rally without a Trump dance. Yeah. Yeah, Trump dance, baby. That's what you guys want. You guys want the Trump dance. I'll give it to you for only $56.99 tonight. Dun, 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 dun. See? I know how to do it. Young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man. Okay, there you go. Trump dance for you guys. Elon Musk posting this 4 hours ago. The New York Times is pure propaganda. Can't wait until they have to return their Pulitzer Prize for the deliberate lies about the Russia hoax. That will be a good day. Just saw the Glenn Greenwald video. Oh my God, yeah. So, did you guys hear about that? Yeah, so one of our members of the team last night decided to send me a link to a video of Glenn Greenwald in the chat. You guys see it? I don't see the chat room on the screen. Why don't I see the chat room? Normally I should see the chat room. But we have it on EVMux, so if I bring that shot and then I bring up that shot, well, why not? Why don't we have the big chat? Well, why wouldn't it be needed? Of course it would be needed. I mean, that's part of the show. I don't want to explain anything when we're done. It's Friday night. I've been working my ass off all week. I don't want to have anything explained anymore. Thank you. Thank you. Just have it ready for Monday. Okay, guys, listen. I love you. I'm going to go. It's been a long freaking week. Long week. And what a show we've had. What a week. What a moment in American history that we're living through right now. We started with President Trump's trade revolution. China thought they could stab us in the back after Trump showed mercy. Big mistake. The deficit's been cut in half. Personal incomes are soaring, and even CNBC can't hide their shock. Trump's not chickening out. He's just getting started. Multiple authorities, multiple paths to victory, and China is running scared. The economic doctrine is working. No amount of judicial interference can stop what is coming. And then we witnessed the end of Elon Musk's heroic service in Washington, 130 days that changed everything. Well, they called him a Nazi and attacked his companies. He found $160 billion in waste. $8 million to make mice transgender while veterans slept on the streets. But Elon planted seeds that will grow into a forest of accountability. The servers are still in the White House. That army of patriots he inspired, they're still fighting. And Jesse Waters was right. Democrats just pushed the world's richest man permanently into our camp, so thanks for that. The Autopen Scandal is the constitutional crime of the century, and it's far from over. 4 Biden staffers are lawyered up because they know what is coming. Subpoenas, sworn testimony, and the truth about who really ran America while Biden couldn't find his way off a stage. Jill Biden running cabinet meetings, a machine signing executive orders. Stephen A. Smith, a Democrat, and he said it best. Hell needs to rain down on everyone complicit. So we'll be following every development as this story explodes. And those activist judges, 79 injunctions against Trump versus single digits for everyone else. It's not justice, it's warfare by other means. Unelected tyrants in black robes think they can overturn the will of 80 million Americans. Stephen Miller exposing their game on CNN while Dana Bash desperately tried to defend the indefensible. But America saw right through it. We know who's really threatening our republic. So to everyone who sent in super chats and rumble rants, thank you. Your voice matters. Your support keeps this show going when the establishment wants us silenced. You're the backbone of this movement. So tell a friend about the Raw feed. Text them the link. Share it on social. The algorithm cannot stop person-to-person communication. Hit up our merch shop, shop.nextnewsnetwork.com, and wear your support proudly. This is just the beginning, patriots. The establishment thought they could use courts and lies and literal robots to subvert our republic, but they thought wrong. Trump is winning. America's winning. And with your continued support, we will keep exposing the truth they desperately want hitting. So thank you for joining us on the Raw feed. Until next time, I'm Gary Franchi, reminding you to stay vigilant, stay informed, and to stay free. We'll see you next week. Have a beautiful weekend when the Raw feed returns.